Hi everyone, it's Michelle. I'm back today to talk again about the Health, Wealth, Wisdom Summit. I kept saying wellness yesterday in the last couple of days. I am getting this all down, but it is wisdom because we want some wisdom for parents out there. This summit is for all parents out there, anyone who wants to learn more about how to work with children or get more ideas. And that's what this summit is all about. Yesterday, if you missed it, I announced with Terry that we are going to auction off 2 VIP passes on Tuesday. So if you just register for free in the comments down below, there'll be links there. All you have to do is register, put a little screenshot, then your name will be on the big dial on Tuesday, and we're going to auction off 2 free passes right before the summit starts. However, today I'm so excited because Agape is here with me to talk about how to be your incredible self, which speaks to my heart so much because I love the whole genuine connection and connecting people together and connecting to yourself, which I want to let Agape take it.
Well, thank you so much, Michelle. Thank you for having me here and for connecting from the beginning that, oh my gosh, since we met, we've just been branching out and connecting with so many other people and women and mothers and having a great time doing it along the way. So, yes, I am all about be your incredible self. I hone in on a lot of controlling your triggers and being able to identify where they reside. And that's how you start the process of connecting with yourself, as Michelle was saying. And that is a part of, our connection and being our incredible selves along the way.
So what would you say if someone has no idea where to even start? What would be that first step for someone who just feels kind of not quite right? And what would you suggest for them where to start?
Oh, as it relates to the controlling the triggers. Okay, well, the first place to start is realizing what your physiological change is. Like, where does that emotion reside in your body? When you're triggered, where do you feel it? So, for example, let's talk about a positive trigger first. That's like so much fun and it brings you right to reality. And if you think about your favorite song, think about your favorite song. What are you doing right away?
You're
You're already
dancing,
moving
you're
your
jumping,
body.
and
Yeah,
singing.
that's right. So now, when you're triggered in a negative way, where does that emotion reside? Where is your body physiologically changing? What's happening? Are you getting a lump in your throat? Do you feel your shoulders going up or back or tight? Do you feel that like nausea in your stomach? Are you getting, like an instant headache? Where is it? Because the moment that you can acknowledge where it resides in your body, nobody's going to see it unless it's very obvious, like your face is completely red, and you'll feel your face hot. You'll know it. Okay. But as soon as you acknowledge that it's occurring, you have at that moment, you are empowered at the highest moment right then and there because you're acknowledging it and you can then control your reaction or or you can have a response.
Well, it's funny is you said that because as a kid, I used to always get these stomach aches, and I always even got made fun of for my stomach always hurt and stuff. And what I realized now as an adult is that's where my first reaction is. It goes straight to those knots in my stomach, and so I think I have a stomach ache, but it was always just that's where my anxiety and stress was. And you're right, when you finally start to acknowledge that and take control, as soon as it starts to hurt, and then I'm like, okay, well, why is it hurting right now? What am I feeling? What's going on? What do I need to change? And so, yeah, it's so great to start to identify where are those triggers happening. And so for me, as soon as my stomach starts, I'm like, okay, what's going on? And what do I need to do differently? What are some of the things once you've identified it, what do you recommend doing from that point?
Well, there's a lot of things that I could recommend, but the first thing and the most important thing that I really need to disclose before I do that is that nobody knows you better than you. Okay. So it all has to do with, my Be Your Incredible Self formula, which is, having a situational awareness and applying that with your emotional intelligence at that very moment, in that time that you're acknowledging that you're having that trigger, so that you can meet your intended outcome. Okay. So
mind blown, but like so much there, right there, Agape. Break it down for us.
Right. So, like situational awareness, I'll break that down a little bit. It's like when you're triggered, you have to be aware of everything around you. What is the environment? Who are you dealing with? What is the trigger? And, it's almost like you have to assess all of these things almost like in 3.5 seconds, right? Because that's about the time it takes for everything to register, and all of a sudden, destruction perhaps. And just to continue on this like joking path right here, be your incredible self is really kind of very much so associated with the Incredible She-Hulk. Not a lot of people know who she is until recently, but literally she's been around since the 80s, and she's an attorney. She is so smart. Okay. She's an attorney at law. She is stronger than the Incredible Hulk, her cousin. Okay. And they are the superheroes that have superhuman powers. They are triggered by their emotions. And the creators of the Hulks were so impressively intelligent because it associates with us so much. You either become extremely reactionary and become destructive most of the time, and you need to apologize behind all of that, which is, not the best feeling. Or, you retreat and you just kind of, avoid the whole situation, analyze it for a few, come back when you realize that it's a, safe and vulnerable space to confront the situation in a more, calm manner. So it's all about who you are, what the situation is, who you're dealing with, and, trial and error every single time.
Well, I love that so much. And I like how you bring out the She-Hulk, because that is when we have, how do we learn to have more responses? Is that proactive, why we're having these conversations right now, why we even want to have this summit, because we want to get these tools in our boxes and work with them and understand them before we need them. And I think that's where we're like, oh, well, I don't need it right now because I'm doing really well. But if you're not working with it when you're thinking straight and things like that, what then do you feel happens?
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. If you're just responding and, saying things or doing things that you regret or that you have to come back and say sorry for, you are, destroying potentially relationships. You can be, it can result in a lot of negative outcomes that, can be significant losses. And as it relates to the children, which is what I will hone in on next, is we are emotionally feeding our children based on these type of responses and these type of reactions. I mean, they're watching us and they're listening to us, no matter how far they are in the other room, no matter if they're on their tablets and completely like zoned out. It doesn't matter. One way or another, they're hearing and listening, whether you agree or not, they are. And what they're seeing and how they're interpreting it in later in life becomes their emotional intelligence. Because you can tell them one thing, you can share best practices, you can, spread knowledge, whatever, but it's what you're actually doing.
Oh, so true. So there's so much goodness going to be happening in the summit coming up. I'll be talking more about connections and bringing people together, and how do we have those genuine connections. Agape is going to go into more detail with this. So again, the idea, I know the word summit might be a little bit overwhelming or not quite sure what it means, but essentially what it means is you're going to be able to get all kinds of information to add to your toolbox when you're in a good state to start figuring out what works for you. The whole point of this is for you to register first of all, but then look at that schedule, because there will be 5 different talks for each, like half an hour, like so 9 o'clock, there'll be 5 things to choose from. Listen to your gut inside there and say, this is what I want to work on. This is where I feel like I could get some more information and learn, because we feel so much more alive when we're learning, growing, how to have those better connections with ourselves, but also with our kids and our families, because we want them to be happy, healthy adults. But we have to model that for them now. So we want to invite you to come join us on the summit. Again, share your screenshots of when you register so that we can put you in that drawing for Tuesday. We'll raffle off 2 VIP packages. So on any post, all the speakers, 12 speakers that have been coming on, we're going to be looking for those names. We put our own little spreadsheet. We're going to put everyone's name in there that we can find. So come join us on Wednesday, April 12th, all day long from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. PST time. There will be something for you. Even if you just get one talk in, that's something new for you to work towards and grow from, and to help have those stronger relationships all around you. And that's what this is all about for us. Do you want anything, last words for us, Agape?
Be your incredible self until then.
Let's all be our incredible selves, and let's all come together to keep growing and doing more. Come register for the Health, Wealth, Wellness Summit, April 12th. We'll see you then.